Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rachel Mitchell, and I'm the Director of Business Development for TorontoJobs.ca. I just wanted to hop on just to say a quick thanks to everyone for attending this afternoon. We know that obviously life has taken a turn in a different direction, and we know that a lot of you have maybe lost their jobs or have been temporarily laid off. So we at TorontoJobs.ca has compiled a series of webinars that we've been hosting for our job seekers. We've been doing a lot of Facebook Live segments every day with our president and some industry leading speakers to help, kind of get through this tough time. And we are excited to welcome IG Wealth today, who's going to talk about the benefits of working for a Canadian leader in wealth management. I know that we've worked together for about 10 years and the company is amazing. So they're going to kind of guide you through and talk about some of the exciting points and things to consider in terms of a career in the finance industry. So on behalf of TorontoJobs.ca, thanks so much, IG Wealth. I wanted to just go over a few things also from a technical perspective for today. So in the bottom, you'll notice in the bottom of your screen a Q&A button. So that Q&A button will allow you to ask questions throughout the course of the webinar. So we will have someone answering text-based questions, as well as we will be doing a Q&A period at the end of the webinar as well. So type your questions in there as the webinar goes on, and we would be happy to answer those for you. And I just want to do a brief introduction to Walter, so you can see him in the top of the screen there. So he's going to be our speaker for today. So his name is Walter Alonso, and he's the Regional Director for the Richmond Hill Region Office for IG Wealth. Walter joined IG Wealth in 1994, became a division director in 2004, and a regional director in 2007. So some amazing progression there. His vision is to develop and lead a top-notch wealth management team by focusing on helping Canadians achieve financial freedom. Walter's goal in life is to inspire everyone to do and give more, which couldn't be more timely with what's going on in today's world. He enjoys talking to people and learning what excites them about life and life's opportunity, and his goal is to help them achieve their goals. He is married to a wonderful woman named Madeline, and they have two beautiful young ladies, 18 and 21. He enjoys playing soccer, working out at a local boot camp, spending time with his friends and family over food and wine. At the end of it all, Walter wants to ensure he leads, inspires, and gives back to everyone he has the pleasure to cross paths with. So welcome, Walter, and we really look forward to your webinar today.
Well, thank you very much, Rachel, for that introduction. And I want to first of all thank TorontoJobs.ca for giving us the platform to really talk about IG Wealth and the new IG Wealth. And in today's presentation, you may come across a few questions you may have. And to Rachel's point, if there's any questions, there is a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. And one of my division directors, Lauren Yuffie, will be there to answer questions. However, reality is there's probably going to be a lot of questions, and I hope there are. We may not be able to answer all the questions, but we promise to get back to your questions even after today's presentation. So really my intent today is to really walk you through IG Wealth to give you a new perspective or a perspective of who we are, what we do for our advisors and our clients. So I hope that you can at least walk away with a better understanding of who we are. So once again, sit back and let's go through the presentation. So to begin with, our brand is very simple. We inspire financial confidence, both for advisors and for clients. And so when we look at the clients are the center at the heart of everything that we do. And if we were to take a step back and go back in time, back 4 years ago, the firm had made a commitment to be the forefront financial planning services firm to help Canadians achieve financial wealth by looking at the holistic financial plan. But in order to do that, we had to equip our advisors to be the top advisors in the industry. And so one of the first things we did is we removed the deferred sales charge. We were one of the largest firms to remove the deferred sales charge in the industry. At the same time, we had to be very transparent about our base planning and fees of planning. This was also done in conjunction with the regulators' recommendation and consumers' appetite for transparency. At the same time, we look at reducing fees to allow our clients to get the best service for probably one of the lowest fees in the industry. But we can't do this ourselves. We work with some of the best in the world of investment planning. I will tap into this portion of the presentation later on, but you may recognize some names. So Investors Group doesn't do this themselves. But at the same time, what is the arsenal or the equipment that the advisors will have? Well, first of all, we've gone 100% digital. It could not come at a better time. Unfortunately, we all understand what we're going through in the world with this pandemic. And we've been one of the few leading firms that can allow our advisors to be 100% active with their clients digitally, both for existing clients and also to bring on new clients. So it creates an ease for the advisors to understand they can continuously transact business day to day, sitting from their home offices, even with times like today. And that is a key ingredient to allow advisors to be successful. At the same time, why do we do this? Is because we want to make sure that we're doing the best for our clients' financial well-being. So we look at our financial well-being scores for our clients. Our clients know where they are financially every single day. How about the advisors? What kind of training support will you receive? Well, I will talk about IG University and what that entails. And to put it all together, we have a great support staff, the advanced financial team behind us. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this. So when we put it all together, you also want an opportunity to grow. So we'll talk about competitive compensation. I'll talk about the enhanced onboarding support and the process of onboarding. We'll also talk about the potential of succession planning, and also a little bit about licensing, about IROC, difference between IROC and MFDA. So with that said, who's IG? We've been inspiring confidence for over 90 years. The company's been around since 1929. However, our main focus is our clients, but we want our advisors to be the best trained. So we're the only firm in the industry that's mandated that every single one of our advisors needs to have their CFP within 4 years of starting with IG. So we're committed to have 100% of our advisors coast to coast, fully licensed and certified. We have over 2,000 senior practices. That means advisors have been with the company more than 5 years. And we managed at the end of last year just over $93 billion, which makes us the second largest asset management company in Canada and puts us under Power Financial top 15 companies in the world of financial management firms. So we are a large Canadian recognized firm. We also have 70 million committed towards communities. And if we look at the map, our company goes from East Coast to West Coast, all the way north, all the way to the tip of Windsor. So our office is well represented, our company is well represented by offices coast to coast. We are a truly Canadian firm. Talk about CFP, where do we rank? As you can see here, IG Wealth ranks with RBC. And you can recognize the top 10 firms are large, well-established companies. So when we say we want to be the top and the best, we are there and we'll continue to be there. What's our company structure look like? As I mentioned before, Power Financial is one of the 15 top large asset management companies in the world. They own 67% of IGAM on the right-hand side. As you can see, that's for IG Wealth Management. There may be some other firms you might recognize, Mackenzie Financial, IPC, or even Wealthsimple, they're on the bottom. On the left-hand side, that is our insurance arm. So under Great-West Lifeco, we have Canada Life, London Life, and Putnam Investments. So why is this important? It shows the breadth of the firm. It shows the diversity of the product shelves that we can offer. However, beyond under Power Financial umbrella, we also have to look at partnering with the best of the best. And on the investment side, as I mentioned in my first slide, we have gone out and have hired sub-advisors to manage our clients' assets. So as you can see, you may recognize some of them. The largest asset management firm is BlackRock. We've teamed up with the largest asset management firm based in the United States, BlackRock. There may be some others you may recognize, Franklin Templeton, Putnam, JP Morgan, Beutel Goodman. So our clients can have confidence, and our advisors can have confidence that we're dealing with the best of the best. On the insurance side, I already mentioned that we have business relationships because we partly own Canada Life and Great-West Life, but we have business ventures with Manulife, RBC Insurance, and Sun Life Insurance. Once again, from a client perspective and from an advisor perspective, the best insurance companies in Canada. On the banking side, well, as you can see, we're not owned by banks, but we have business relationships with Equitable Bank and National Bank. So if we put all this together, we are able to offer our clients any financial services needs that they have, sitting down with their advisor one-on-one. And that's the key differentiation between us and many other firms. And so when we look at trying to deliver the best of the best, our firm does that. It gives us the resources to go out there and have meaningful discussions with clients and prospects. And why is that important as well? Is because as a country, there's a $1 trillion opportunity. There's a huge transfer of wealth between those that are already retired and those that are going to inherit the wealth. And so as an industry, we continue to grow. There's great growth opportunity. And when we dive into deeper, the average Canadian, 62% are worried they're going to outlive their money. Only 45% have RSPs, 39% have TFSAs, and that number is increasing, and only 12% have annuities. So even people that have wealth, there's still a great opportunity to really dive into and offer them our expertise. And how we do that is we looking at many aspects of the business, or what we call their financial well-being. The most important thing we look at is strategies that are going to be tax efficient for them today and for them in the future. The great thing about this business is that when you work and you build relationships with your clients, it creates that dialogue and it creates that relationship that opens up opportunities. So perhaps individuals have advisors, but don't have the breadth of an advisor that can do what we can do at IG Wealth. Now, this has not changed since our firm opened the doors back 90 years ago. Since I started in 1994, we've been doing this since 1994. IG Wealth Management has continuously delivered on delivering the financial well-being, ensuring that Canadians' financial well-being is top of mind. And how we do that is we explore the client's current situation, we clarify their goals and objectives, we develop a very comprehensive plan, which is really visible to our clients on what we call a client portal. They get to see their plans. We customize their investment, insurance, and lending solutions, and then we implement their holistic strategy. But more importantly, we just don't walk away. We proactively monitor and adjust. So even with this tremendous change that we've seen in our world, it's also affected our markets. Yes, they've gone down. They've since come up. How have our clients reacted? Well, I'm glad to say that IG Wealth has retained, we're actually the #1 firm as of the end of May on the number of assets we've retained compared to our peers in the industry. Does that mean our investments are better? No. It means our advisors are working one-on-one with their clients. And that should give you confidence in looking into a career of financial services or looking to team up with a firm that is proactively engaged with their clients and with the general public. And why we do that is because we promise we're going to do that to our clients and stay the course. But we can't do this alone. So you may be sitting there going, Walter, this sounds great so far. I don't have financial services background. How am I going to get some help? How am I going to be viewed by the general public if I join IG and I'm new to this industry? Well, now I want to get into the support and the resources that every advisor has at their fingertips. First of all, we have Canada's most coveted specialists. We have accountants and lawyers at our fingertips that can cover many different aspects and expertise that they're in. Why is that important? Is we understand, doesn't matter if our advisor is new to the company or 26 years like myself, we continuously need support of experts. And our advisors have that at their fingertips. At the same time, not to forget, we have the sub-advisors. Prior to 2016, all investments were managed by IG Wealth. We have since moved away from that and gone to sub-advisory. Why? Is we want our advisors to spend more time building the relationships, building the plans, and let the pros deal with the management side of things. So we deal with asset management insights, we do talk about asset allocation and investment planning. So it's very diverse and the great resources that you receive. So when we look at that partnership as sub-advisors, we have the freedom to select the world-class money managers. Don't forget that being one of the largest wealth asset management companies in the world, we can be choosy on who we pick. We also have a flexibility to change our managers if we feel we're not meeting our mandate. And we have the diversity of multitude of investment managers with different approaches to achieve diversity. When we look at the world map, This is where our sub-advisors are. They're not all in North America. They span across the world, across all continents. And that is important for an advisor because as an advisor, you will know that you can meet any client's needs and wishes. And how they do that is by diving into what clients want and what the clients need, allows us to prepare a proper diversified portfolio. And when we look at portfolios, we really want to make sure we offer them a managed solution. We want to make sure clients receive a very diversified portfolio, that consultants can delegate the investment decisions to a team of professionals, and consultants can spend more time on building relationships, on focusing on client goals and plans. Right now, 80% of new investment from our clients are going to managed solutions. So we are doing the right thing. And how are managed solutions stacked up against what's happened during this pandemic? I don't have a chart to show you here today, but I can tell you, during the downturns, our portfolios did drop, but not to the extreme that the markets did. And during the upturn, most of our portfolios have recuperated up to the level they were at the end of last year already. So our sub-advisors are actively managing. So if when you're looking at a career saying, do I need to be actively sitting in front of a computer, wondering what should I do for my clients, rebalance them every day? No, that's what our sub-advisors do. And that's what the beauty about this business. We built the resources and the platform to create an ease for advisors to conduct business. I just want to give you an example of one of our pools, and this is called iProfile Private Portfolios. So a client of yours may have all this in their portfolio, and as you can see, there's many sub-advisors. From a client perspective, they're sitting back and saying, wow, I have access to the best of the best in the managed solutions. This is what I need in my portfolio. This was what lets me sleep at night. And really, when we look at this, we can manage everything from a income portfolio, someone that just needs income, to a pure growth portfolio. So we can manage anyone's portfolio that they want or need. And pricing, as I mentioned earlier on my slides, we're very competitive. We work to offer the best financial advice combined with the best pricing. We're very transparent. Our clients see on their statements how much they're paying for our services. Our tiers start dropping at $250,000 of client family aggregates, which is one of the lowest aggregates combined in the industry, which puts us in a very competitive sphere. The management fees, advisory fees are unbundled. So we show the advisory fee versus the MER. And some of it can be tax deductible from a non-registered perspective. So really, the biggest transition has been the unbundling of fees. So when we put that all together, our product shelf is very robust. We can do daily banking if they want. We can do brokerage services as a complimentary service if you're under MFDA. If you're IROC, absolutely, you can have a brokerage service. We offer retirement and health benefits for individuals and companies through our insurance arm. We offer personal insurance, disability, critical illness, of course, investments, and lastly, credit lending. We do mortgages, lines of credits, personal loans, anything that a client needs, we can facilitate. Now, we don't know the individuals that are on this call today. You come from many walks of life. And as I mentioned before, you may say, you know what, I don't have the financial services background. What will IG help me to develop? And I will talk about our training platform in a moment. But is this really for me? What I want you to reassure you is that we have individuals in our company today that come from different walks of life. Yes, some came from financial services profession. Some came from executive positions, from a sales or corporate perspective. Some may be accountants or lawyers. Some were self-employed entrepreneurs. Some were students. I started as a student back in 1994. There's educators. There's many walks of life. What I'm getting at is that Investors Group is able to transition with the right people that have the right attributes to be successful and have a practice. And so what I would implore with you, and they'll be shown in the Q&A, is if you are interested, connect with Lauren Yuffie and he'll walk you through that process as well. So let's continue on. Let's look at a graphical view of sort of the structure from a regional perspective, and this will shed light on the resources and support that you as an advisor would receive. So as you can see in the middle, there is you as the consultant. On top is a regional director, myself. Some will call me a branch manager. We're called a regional director. What I do want to stress is that your mentors, your regional director, and your division directors are not employees of Investors Group. We are self-employed. All financial planners are also self-employed. Why is that important? It's because we understand that we need to grow our business and we help advisors grow their business. So our goals are aligned. Your success is our success. On the right-hand side, there's area marketing director, and I will get into our marketing platform, how it allows you to have access and probability of gathering new clients. Right now, I want to focus on the bottom three. On the left-hand side is our insurance and estate planning specialist. He is a paid employee of Investors Group. So Steve's responsibility is to help Lauren and myself to develop advisors and help them on insurance cases or estate planning cases. And Steve's job is to really to help us to dive in, and he has 30 years of experience, and take his experience to help us develop that component of potential client and or clients, our prospects, financial plan. In the middle is a wealth planning specialist. We understand that most individuals in Canada deal with a financial institution for their investments. What we don't want is our advisors to be spending day in and day out analyzing every single portfolio out there. So Moody's responsibility is to help us with the advisor to really create a discussion paper and to analyze the potential prospect's portfolio. From an advisor perspective, it allows us to have a very condensed, simplified discussion paper to have a discussion with our prospect. So once again, a paid employee Investors Group that allows us to talk about third-party assets and how we can bring them in. And then on the right-hand side is our mortgage and planning specialist. As you saw before, we can do lines of credits, we can do mortgages and loans and banking products. Well, Daniel's responsibility is when we engage Daniel with our client or prospect, he can go behind the scenes. If it's a mortgage, he does all the credit checks. He does all the behind the scenes work is done by Daniel. Once again, a paid employee of Investors Group. But from a visual perspective, in front of a client or in front of a prospect, you can sit there as the advisor and you can show them your team, both from a regional perspective and from a corporate perspective, from the sub-advisors and the advanced financial planning team. So yes, it is a very complex world being a financial planner in this industry. However, the corporate structure and the regional structure that IG has created a platform to be a robust and dynamic opportunity for you to build your practice and always have these people at your fingertips. In the client's perspective, they see you having this team behind you, adds credibility. Now, on the education side, how will you be trained? So we have both virtual training, which we call IG University, and once this pandemic goes through, we have office training as well. So let's talk about our virtual training. Our virtual training covers many aspects. There's a resource library, which has all the tax information if you want to just do quick searches on tax questions your clients may have. There's also business development. That's what I want to focus on. When an individual starts with IG, or if you're an existing IG advisor, there are programs that you can engage at your own time to really develop your skills. So for new advisors, we have the orientation and for your mentorship program and internal training. For those that don't have their CFP, we have a 4-year process to walk you through and be CFP certified and compensate you 100% upon successful completion of your CFP, which is also another thing that most firms do not do, to have a concrete step-by-step way to get you certified. Recall, we're the only firm that's mandated that all our advisors have a CFP, and we stand firm that we will represent that to the general public. But we also have external courses to continuously keep our education up to date, and there may be some other courses you may want to take, and there's a whole slew of companies you see on the right-hand side. But at the end of it all, if you take anything away from today, is this: 80% of what we do is educate the general public. People don't know what they don't know. And our advisors are the best equipped in industry to do that. If some of you have engaged with discussions with other firms, you might be surprised that some firms will say IG Wealth has the best training platform in the industry. And we're very proud of that. So rest assured that if you're not in the financial services industry, or even if you are, you're going to be trained with the best, with it internally and also with external companies. So helping these with their investments and financial plan needs is forefront. So technology is key as well. We have gone, as I mentioned before, 100% paperless. We also have other systems in place to allow us to continue to do business, both from a documentation side, customer relationship management, called Salesforce. There's Hootsuite, which allows us to manage our social media. There's Zoom, which we're using today. There's Office 365. Productivity allows us to communicate internally. So our advisors do not have to go out and engage this technology platform. We have this as our platform that every advisors have at their fingertips. So we've converted ourselves to be the best of the best in the technology side of things. How about marketing? Marketing is important. So I'm going to talk about two aspects about marketing: corporate marketing, and then I'm going to talk about what's called GTA marketing, because GTA is a very, I guess, a big sphere, an important sphere of the Canadian economy. So first of all, lead generation programs from a corporate and regional perspective are available. You receive your own personalized web page that you can customize to engage and using your social media. There's local marketing, which I'll get to in a moment. There's also marketing support to mass affluent and high net worth. Our main focus is to engage the mass affluent and high net worth. Recall, we manage $93 billion worth of clients' assets, yet we have 1 million clients. That's it. So imagine that we have 1 million clients and we manage $93 billion. We manage very large assets. Why? Is because we can offer the holistic plan to our clients with the support from our resources from corporate and regionally. There's also national brand advertising, and there's also social media marketing support. As you can see on the right-hand side, these are just samples of soft copies of the material that all our advisors have at their disposal every single day. So they can use these materials to engage for prospecting and retaining clients as well. How about on a regional perspective, on the GTA perspective? So we want to go from a one-off to a complete system. And I'm just going to quickly, and this has a lot of things moving on the slide, I'm just going to quickly go through this, and I'm going to explain what this means. So prior to the pandemic, which started March 16th for us, we closed our offices. Our offices are physically closed. However, our advisors can continuously conduct business. We expect our offices to be open in the next couple of months, but we have to follow Ontario guidelines. However, business does not stop. Client appreciation, client retention doesn't stop, and prospecting doesn't stop. So what we did is we created a platform to create opportunities for advisors to invite and engage their clients and prospects. So at the time, we were doing monthly educations at the end of every month. We're actually doing weekly virtual education sessions. They range from retirement early, charitable giving, business owners, money and youth, women in wealth, a lot of different relevant topics to certain segments of your prospects and or your clients. Then we have larger events. So when we were, before this pandemic, we would do great comedy tours across the GTA, night at the races at Woodbine. We would do murder mystery nights. Once again, platform was created for the advisor. All the advisor had to do is get the invite and send it out, which all the invites are already prepared for them. And then we had top clients, 10% of our clients, we did micro events. So right now we've done virtual, we've done a cooking virtual event. We're doing a wine virtual event as well. So we tend to still continue to do virtual events. And those are smaller, intimate. But why is this important? Most firms out there do not have a concrete regional marketing template that's already created for them, and all they have to do is invite. And more importantly, because we're in a virtual world, we can track who comes on, how long they're on, and what kind of questions they ask or not ask, just like today. So we have created a top-notch marketing platform to allow you to have a great breadth to prospect and to retain and grow your client base. So that I thought is, and I know is very unique in the industry. So really, our brand promise is we inspire financial confidence from a corporate perspective to you as the advisor and to the clients. Because at the end of the day, client relationship is key. So that is our platform. We are generally a supportive culture. There's many people, and this is a true testimonial from Mr. Assad of how we help. Yes, we are a very competitive industry out there, but every region in Canada share ideas. Doesn't matter where you are in IG, I can talk to coast from BC all the way to Newfoundland. We have great relationships. We learn from each other. So the amount of learning you do at IG and the amount of support and resources you get is by far, probably doesn't exist in the industry to the size and scope of the company that we are. So how about compensation? I'm sure that's important for all of you today. I'm going to walk through two models of compensation. Before I get into the numbers, there's two ways advisors get compensated. They get compensated for we call it transitional sales bonus, which is a front-up commission, and more importantly, asset income. As you build your assets, you have a continual asset being paid to you as long as you're working with IG. And that's the exciting part, is that you're able to build a business. Once again, you're considered self-employed. You can incorporate, and you can continuously receive income coming in. And the income can come from three major areas: investments, insurance, and lending and mortgages. So our income streams are multitude, and they multiply. And so when we look at this, let's take an example of three different scenarios. First one, let's look at year one. Let's assume you were to bring in $1.5 million. And let me clarify this. Let's assume you come across a client that has assets with one of our competitors. And we look at these assets, we get a wealth planning specialist, Moody, that will analyze the portfolio for us. And then we go back to the client and say, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Client, given your risk tolerance we discussed, given the financial plan we prepared, these investments actually, some of them make sense for you to have. But we can manage it for you on behalf of you. So if it's company ABC, we can keep those assets. You as an advisor will be compensated up front and will make up, in this example, that 1.5 million assets. So it doesn't mean that you have to bring you over the assets and convert them to IG assets to be compensated. One key area that we as a firm have promised to our clients is that we're not going to have any conflict of interest of what product a client wants. We can facilitate any product from any firm, and our compensation is going to be identical. And from a regulatory perspective, we're the only firm right now that we're apart. In other words, we are abiding to the regulators. We are able to offer anything that other companies offer and bring them so we can manage it and be compensated equally as if they were IG assets. From a consumer perspective, they can sit back and say, wow, this is great. I can still have those same assets, but I'm going to get all this other support from you, Walter, and I can have the same assets and it's not going to cost me more? No. So when I talk about 1.5 million, it could be 1.5 million of external assets that the clients keep with those companies. But it's managed under IG Wealth Management, under you as the advisor. Then let's assume you do 18 insurance cases. That's less than 2 a month. Our average is around 15 to 18 per advisor. And let's assume 4 mortgages, 3 mortgages, and a line of credit. That's 1 a quarter. So we're not talking about huge productivity here. We're talking about something that's a good start. That is your compensation at the end of year 1. But more importantly, you'll see the assets after year 1. If you continue growing your practice, and what will happen is existing clients will give you more money. They still have to contribute to the RSPs, their TFSAs, maybe they chose RESP, maybe they inherit money, maybe they lose their job and they have a severance package or what have you. Your practice will continue to grow as long as you're servicing your clients. And as you can see, as you're growing your asset base, your assets grow and your income continues to grow. Our goal and Lauren's goal is to ensure that our advisors are earning at least over $100,000 at the least by year 4. And we want to ensure that our advisors have stability of income. So our compensation model creates upfront compensation, but we're creating stability of income as well. And when we combine the two, with the support you get from everything that I've told you, this is very feasible. Now, of course, if you bring more, your income will be greater. And so when we look at this, that's Lauren and my responsibility is to get you there. And once again, if you need to contact Lauren, his information is in the Q&A. But let's look at a bigger picture. Let's assume we have a very quick start. I call these stages. It could be in 4 months, it could be 4 years, it could be in 6 years. But let's look at this. Once an advisor gets to 20 million assets, the compensation up front is over $500,000. This does not include asset compensation, insurance compensation, or mortgage compensation. The reason why I show you 20 million is a $20 million book will allow an advisor to be earning $100,000 a year every single year when they wake up on January 1st. And we know you're going to continue to bring in more business because clients are going to give you more business. So I wanted to put that in place. Now, I don't know the audience today. If you are already in the industry and you're managing an existing book and you bring that book of business to IG and keep the assets you already manage, if they're with that company, you will be compensated. So if you have a $20 million book, your upfront compensation is going to be over $500,000 plus the trailers. So very, very lucrative. So when we add that all together, resources, stability of the company, the platform that we provide internally, both in the marketing, technology, and training, and all the product shelf that we offer, that is tremendous. One slide I don't have, but I will talk about is this. Our region has 41 advisors, just over $1 billion in assets that we manage. The reality of our business is that our business and our advisors are aging in population. And there's a great opportunity for new advisors coming into this industry to have succession plans in the future. In our company, we have a thing called a shared value plan. In other words, you're able to purchase an existing book of business once you join IG and you build your book of business and to augment your existing book. And we have a system and plan where the advisor is not taking a loan to buy this, but we have a 5-year plan that you buy out the assets and the retiring advisor gets compensated 50% of his or her assets for the next 5 years. So basically 50% of the assets are free. Why is that important? Is we want to continue to retain the assets in the region and allow our new advisors to have access to opportunity to grow their practice. So you can grow your practice 2 ways. 20 million, in this example you bring in, you can purchase another 20 million. Within that time, you could be at 40 million. Your income will go up even more. This is a reality of our industry, but more importantly, this is the reality of IG Wealth. Don't forget, second largest asset management in Canada, $93 billion. There's a lot of assets coming up for retirement and succession plan. So I just want to mention that as well. So our consultant experience, these are just real testimonials, but more importantly, I wanted to just show you they came from different walks of life. And so when we put it all together, this is the new IG Wealth. This is the opportunity. But we also we're very cognizant of the process we take. So what are the next steps before I open up to any Q&As that were put forth? If you're interested, I highly recommend you submit your resume to Lauren Yaffe, as mentioned in the Q&A. Then we're going to engage you to do what we call a personal orientation profile, or the POP. And that is a 30-minute questionnaire. It's not a math quiz. It's none of that. It's more of a personality profile. We've hired an external third-party company called Self-Management Group. And they will take these questions and they will ask you these questions virtually. You do it online, 30 minutes on your own. And you answer A, B, C, D. How do you feel about this? What would you do in this situation? That will allow Lauren and I to really have a really graphical view of your personality. Now, is it a perfect science? Absolutely not. But it is an important indicator to see if you have the right traits and attributes to be a successful advisor at IG Wealth. Once we go through that, we will engage you with our talent acquisition team. So Lisa Ritchie will walk you through a couple other more finer details about our firm. And then you will meet with myself and Lauren again. We will have a one-on-one. We will discuss more about our platform. And then we're going to send you away to do a business plan. And we're going to allow you to, we'll give you a template to build your business plan. How do you plan to build your practice? And then you could do a business presentation to Lauren and I. And Lauren and I will have to sit back and say, do we feel Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so has the right mindset to build a successful practice? And then Lauren and I have to sit back and say, do we have the resources to embark to allow this individual to be successful? So our process is very transparent, but very back and forth to allow you as a potential candidate to ask us the questions and for us to ask you questions and to be very fair and open on that. And if we get through all those steps, we'll talk about licensing. There is an insurance license requirement and there is a mutual fund license at the minimum, as well as ETF. And that's something I forgot to mention. As of June 30th, we're one of the few firms on the MFDA platform that can offer ETFs to our clients. So June 30th, we can offer all the ETFs out there with clients wanting. We can offer them to our product shelf. Again, IG is leading the way. Not many firms are doing this right now. So another opportunity for advisors. And at the end of it all, onboarding. After onboarding, the fun begins. That's when we get together and we start building your practice. On the virtual world, we can still conduct business one-on-one. We can send all documents through what we call DocuSign, virtual documentation to onboard people. So our process is simple, transparent, and on point for those who are serious to start a financial planning practice. So with that, what are the top 10 reasons to join IG? Well, exceptional income potential. You are self-employed. It's a double-edged sword. You work hard, you earn great income. You decide not to work, that's your prerogative. Those that work hard and work smart will earn great income. You grow your practice the way you want, with the clients you want. You are licensed in Ontario. You can have clients anywhere in Ontario as long as you promise to service them. You also get to enjoy work-life balance. We don't expect advisors to be working 12 days, 6 days a week. We understand you all have personal lives, family perhaps that you want to be part of as well. We understand life balance, and I'm a big proponent on life balance. Someone doesn't succeed 26 years in the industry with the same company if we don't believe on life balance. We're also top-rated financial firm in Canada. We're committed to 100% CFP. We're supportive, inclusive in everything we do, and also community-focused culture. We have institution quality products through our sub-advisors. We have full marketing and practice resources, and we have an advanced financial planning team to deal with complex cases. Lastly, the technology platform is one of the best in the industry. So with that, I hope that I've answered a lot of your questions, but more importantly, I hope you walk away with a better understanding and clarity of what IG Wealth can do for you. And I hope that meets what you're looking for. We're not looking for someone who's looking for a job. We're looking for someone who's looking for a career, because we build long-standing careers and we build lifelong relationships with our advisors. So with that, I want to thank you all. Contact information is there again for Lauren. There's his phone number. I'll read it out, 905-886-3850, extension 6249. Understand the Factor office is closed, but we do listen to our voicemails as well. So with that, I know Lauren I can see Lauren back again. I just wanted to open up if there's any couple questions that you may want to get to, and we can answer them. So Lauren?
Hey, Walter, we do have a couple questions from some individuals.
Okay.
One question that has come in is, how are you different than the advisors at the bank?
Actually, great question. No disrespect to advisors at the bank, but they are restricted by law in what they can offer to the clients. First of all, advisors at the bank are not allowed to discuss insurance because the bank won't allow them, and there's a charter bank right. So on that side, it's a great business opportunity losing out. So there's individual insurance, there's tax planning. So when they talk about tax planning, they're not able to implement the strategies. And so that client has to go somewhere else to get that information. Secondly, the individual at the branch level is restricted to, for the most part, to deal with their in-house products. Recall that I mentioned before, if let's say, for example, I'm sitting down with one of their clients at the bank, they listen, no disrespect, they have some great products as well. And we do the analysis and say, Lauren, you know, the investments you have with Bank ABC is actually not that bad. It fits to what you're looking for. But I want to start talking about estate planning or some other tax strategies. What I want to propose is we bring those assets in kind. Let's not change it. All it's going to change is going to say IG Wealth Management. And that bank is going to compensate me, just like they would with that bank person. From a client perspective, it doesn't cost them anything else. And now they have personally their own advisor. Thirdly is, don't forget the lending side. If you're an advisor at the branch, they do have lending. Of course, they have mortgages, they have lines of credits. Well, you have to pass that on to that person who's a mortgage advisor at that branch. And so what happens is that there could be like a broken telephone. Your game plan was to do this as their advisor, and then they're going elsewhere to get their insurance products. They're going elsewhere within, in this case, within the branch to get their mortgage. So there's no congruency of their financial plan. And so that's where it creates a lot of confusion for the average consumer. And lastly, in today's world, Lauren and I talk to many advisors at the branch level, and they're struggling to deal with clients. Case in point, Lauren and I are talking to someone from that side of the industry. They're not able to meet one-on-one with clients at the earliest to September. However, they're also not 100% digital. So they're sending forms through couriers to get things signed. It's very archaic right now. So the advisor at the branch level is struggling to conduct 100% efficient practice. We've taken all that away. So I know it's a long answer, but I really want to create those compartments to create clarity, differentiation between the two. So I hope I answered that question. And that's a great question, whoever asked that question.
We have a couple more.
Yep.
How difficult is it for an advisor to conduct business given the current market fluctuations and the pandemic? You sort of answered that in the last question,
Right.
but just a little more detail.
So early on in my presentation, probably latter part, I did say IG has been able to sustain the most assets in the industry as of May 31st, even with the market downturn. And once again, I will clarify, we don't have every single product is the best of the best. And I'm not sitting here saying it's the best of the best. What we're very good at is holding our client's hand and finding those opportunities. And when the market did go down, Lauren and the rest of my division director team and myself, we went to our advisors and said, here's some resources. Let's engage our clients as have conversations and let's walk them through. Now listen, as an advisor, and I do have my own clients, and Lauren, by the way, has his own clients. So even though we're in a managerial position, we have our own individual clients as well. Those conversations at first were tough, but the consumer understood. And they turned around and said, Lauren, what would you recommend? And that's where the relationship starts. Is not that the consumer or the client is, telling you what to do, is they're seeking our advice. Remember, 80% of our business is educating and advising our clients and prospects. So we've been able to sustain ourselves. As a firm, our gross sales are up 6.7% year over year at the end of May versus last year. And last year, we were up over 20%. So, and by the way, if you want to check these numbers, you can just go under our company IGM, get all that information. It's public knowledge. So we've been able to sustain ourselves. Once again, advisors can conduct 100% of their business online. Truth of the matter, and there's someone else behind the scenes, Sandra's my assistant, I opened up a new TFSA for a client last night and was able to pull, as we call, money from his bank account. So I didn't need a check. Our technology allows us to go into their bank account with their client's authorization and pull money that they can invest. That's how easy it is for our advisors to conduct business. And flip it over. Our clients want that as well. They're looking for a way to conduct business that's easy for them and it makes sense. And clients can see their statements and their portfolios on their client portal. They can see their financial plan, they can see their investments, everything's live to them as well. So once again, our technology platform has allowed us to be proactive and active in the industry and the climate we're in today.
We have another question coming in is how long will it take to study for the mutual funds license and
Right.
the insurance license and growing sort of my business?
Right. So right now, the institute that conducts licensing for all our industry, not just for IG Wealth, believe it or not, is not ready to proctor exams yet. So since the pandemic, no one that's looking to join the industry has been able to write exams. However, I heard today that probably by next week will be up and running. The individual, we will, during our process of onboarding, we will give you the information to go on and get your mutual fund license. We recommend around a week's worth of studying for your mutual fund license and then sign up for your virtual exam to do that. The LOQP or insurance license, I would recommend 2 to 3 weeks of study. So if we bundle all that in, it's around a month of study, okay? After that, once you're fully licensed, we get you registered. Registration will take around 5 business days for the Ontario Securities Commission to accept your license. And we do credit and criminal checks and all that. And then you're ready to get started. And you can start onboarding clients and prospects. But where are you going to get your clients? Part of our process is that business plan. We're going to find out more about who you know, what centers of influence you have, what niche markets do you deal with, and then Lauren and I step back and say, how can we engage? We have strategies that will allow you to tap into those markets that you identify as your advisor.
Okay. A few questions have come in saying, are you able to share this presentation with everybody?
We will be sharing the presentation for those that will email Lauren. So I do ask to email Lauren that you want the presentation. I hope you understand that some of the slides, especially the first couple ones, actually, this is the first time that I'm nationally broadcasting it. Even Lauren, I can't even share it to Lauren. So a couple slides I will have to remove, but we will send a version of the presentation. But we do need your email. So email Lauren at lauren.yuffie@ig.ca.
Okay, and then the last 2 quick questions before we wrap it up today. With your job currently, and within every organization, you have a challenge. What do you feel your biggest challenge is? And then on the other side, where do you get the most enjoyment out of your job?
You know what? I'm going to answer both together. I'm going to guess that most of the individuals that are on this call are sitting back going, wow, I didn't know IG Wealth did all this. So our challenge is to get our message out. And what brings me joy is to get the message out. And so we are probably the best kept secret in both from a potential individuals are looking to join our firm and for client perspective. Recall, we managed $93 billion at the end of last year, and we have only a million clients. And so our opportunity is to get double that, go to 2, 3 million, and we are growing exponentially. Why? Because our messaging of IG Wealth, the new IG Wealth, is coming out. We evolved since 2016, and so our challenge is to get it out there, but we're not going to be pumping our chests and throwing advertising every single day on TV because we deal with clients one-on-one. We deal with a niche market one-on-one. We want to be selective also who we want as clients. And that's a great thing about this practice. You get to choose who you want on board to be your clients. Because at the end of the day, once you onboard a client, those are your clients. You will communicate. You will transact with them day in and day out. They will contact you. Not a 1-800 number. They contact you.
Okay. I think that will wrap up our Q&A for today. I know Rachel did want to come back online, and here she is.
Good timing, right? So I just wanted to say thanks to all of you for participating in our webinar today. I certainly didn't know that IG Wealth had all of these tools at their disposal and had all these different services. So it was definitely eye-opening for me, and you seem like I've worked with you for almost 10 years. So I know that you're a fabulous organization. So I hope that all of you, got some great takeaways, and you will email them for more information, because they are an exceptional organization to work for. So thanks so much to Lauren and Walter and your team behind the scenes for putting this all together. And thanks from TorontoJobs.ca to all of you for participating. As I said, we do these webinar series quite frequently. Some are on information of how you can conduct your job search and resume tips and interviewing, and some are from organizations like IG Wealth that can give you information about changing your career path or doing this. I think you do this on a part-time basis as well, right? So,
No,
full-time.
not on that one. You can't do it on a part-time
full-time.
basis.
All right. So if someone's looking at changing career paths, it's a great alternative. So thank you so much to everyone. And if you want to check out our website, I know we've had a lot of companies actually posting jobs recently. So that's a definite positive turn in the right direction. So our website is just torontojobs.ca. And if you join our Facebook page, we do Facebook Lives daily with organizations talking about jobs and just ways that you can get back on track with your job search. So thanks again to everyone, and thanks to Walter and Lauren and everyone. We hope you have a great afternoon and good luck in your job search.
Thank you very much. Stay safe, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.